Hello and welcome to Brain Trust Live number 261.
This week on the podcast, Trump uses the UN gathering to threaten nuclear war and thank the great nation of Nambia for making his friends so rich. Isn't diplomacy grand?
Plus, Kim Jong-un brought back the word dotard, and now we all sound Shakespearean.
Oh my god, did John and Lindsay just break up over Lindsay's secret affair with healthcare reform? What a bitch.
Plus, First Amendment expert Donald Trump describes his specific administration-approved maneuvers for football protesting.
And Trump redefines the word loyalty while extolling on his distaste for Luther Strange at a Luther Strange rally.
We'll have all this and more.
This is Brain Trust Live. Hey guys, I'm Brent.
I'm Lila, and you can find us on the web at www.braintrustlive.com.
Sure can.
You can find us on iTunes, where you could leave us a review.
Do that.
One of the things that you can do.
That's right.
Could leave us a review on Stitcher.
Yeah.
You can rate us at both of those places.
Yeah.
You could just tell your friends. You know.
That's right.
You do you. But do you while reviewing our show.
Right, exactly.
This week we decided to take a break from the meteorology.
Yeah. You know what? We can't do it any longer.
It's too many natural disasters. You know that we are as afraid of natural disasters as two people could possibly
That's right.
be.
We had one in Los Angeles this week. It certainly wasn't on the scale of the terrible one
Right.
in Mexico City, but it woke me up. That was scary.
Yeah, sure.
You know what? And so to then have an earthquake in Mexico City is I'm not trying to be thinking about that. So we hope that everything is okay down there. It's not, but I mean,
Right.
we're thinking of you, Mexico City, but we're not going to talk about you on the podcast other than what we just
can't.
said right now.
You guys know what happens during an earthquake because we reported on it last week
Right,
because
exactly.
it had already happened once in
Yeah.
Mexico. So,
Yeah.
and it's the hurricane business is getting too scary.
Big time.
We don't even live in a hurricane zone, but I feel scared of the weather now in a way that I hadn't before.
I know.
We just leave you with one comment, which is just believe that climate change is real and let's try to do something
Yeah,
about
exactly.
it.
Yes.
But there's plenty of fun political stuff this week. Trump was at the UN. We're going to talk about all of that, but we also have another special guest on the show with us to
Very
talk
exciting.
about all of this with. His name is Thomas Dale. He's a comedian. He's really funny. You've probably seen him in a bunch of TV and stuff. He's specifically going to be in this upcoming season of This Is Not Happening on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
But you should follow him on social or whatever. He's really funny. And we have him here with us today. Hey, Thomas, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
It took me a while to fully comprehend the full magnitude of this, specifically this week's news, because we warned everyone last week to look for this Trump UN visit, and it was so much crazier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Really? Are you really
Well,
still
I know,
shocked?
I know.
Really
No,
I know,
it's
it's true.
the ways in which he's crazy that shock me. The sort of magnitude of crazy doesn't shock me, but the man made up a country in country in Africa in front of African leaders, which is
And his supporters still support him.
Yeah.
It's just,
his
that's
supporters
the crazy part.
have also not heard.
Right, I was going to say, not only do
Nambia.
they support him, but now there's probably Facebook pages about things that we can do to help the people of Nambia.
Yeah.
I
Right,
just feel
it's-
that's a real country to them now.
Right.
Yeah,
It's absolutely
he
absurd.
spoke it into existence.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so in any case, one bright spot, there was no physical comedy at this round of Trump meets world leaders.
Yeah.
Usually there's some sort of handshake drama.
Oh, right,
Usually
right.
he has
We
some
love
weird
the
standoff.
handshake drama, though,
I
'cause
know
it's so
that
awkward.
That Macron handshake war
That went on forever.
That went on
involved
forever
his wife
was
for
we
a
were
while
obsessed.
as well, and
The handshake dramas, it's so creepy to me that I can't even involve. I can't look at it. It's like when I can't look at swarms. I have in holes. I have a phobia of holes and swarms. And him shaking hands is along that same line. I get that same feeling. My skin
It
crawls.
is a really disgusting
I could vomit almost.
looking.
it's one of those.
It
But
is.
so
No, it's
they managed to keep all their handshakes in private at the UN.
Because they're probably all I bet you some of
is
the UN leaders chop their hands off before they went. They were I don't want to touch him.
I
I'd rather have
guarantee
no hands.
there was a lot of prep that went on.
I was going to say, a lot of them
World.
probably
They
practiced.
were all, they were all,
before,
they are.
You gotta standing your ground is tough when someone's shoving you at them. So all of the comedy was spoken comedy. There was him praising the healthcare system of Nambia, a country that is not Namibia or Zambia.
Right.
And do they have a healthcare system?
In Nambia they certainly don't.
Are
Because
they dying by the dozens out in Africa?
I love that
it's not a real country.
I love that he's out there because he also praised Australia's healthcare system. He's praising all these healthcare systems that aren't ours, but yet somehow is
trying to destroy ours.
Wants to take 30 million people off of ours.
Yeah.
As if that'll make it better.
Well, it'll make it more like Nambia's.
Nambia's, right, yeah.
That's one thing we know. But he also, in that same room, this was at like a group of African leaders that were having like a luncheon or something that he was speaking at. And he also said to them that he had so many friends going to their countries trying to get rich.
Yeah, sure.
This is a room full of people who have suffered the worst legacies of colonialism on the planet. But Trump, happy to let them know that rich white Westerners are out there to make a buck off them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He also began his speech at another meeting plugging the Trump World Tower across the street.
Oh my God!
Sure.
Yeah.
As The Guardian put it, his first remarks as president on UN ground were spoken as a property developer, which I feel like sort of sums it all up.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to start with what he was good at.
Yeah.
He's not good at presidenting.
No.
He's good at property development.
I mean, is he even good at that? Because I stayed at a Trump Tower in Atlantic City.
Oh, you stayed in one?
We stayed in one when I was like 22, and we were like, oh, this is so gross, and the whole thing, we were like making fun of it the whole time, and
it feels like the kind of hotel where everything would be gold, but dirty
it is.
too.
It's gold. It's yellow.
Or it's
like
like
gold. It's like, oh no, that's not what you were going for.
That's not the
It's
real.
yellow. Everything was yellow. I remember.
It's
Yellow.
like fake black marble.
Yeah.
Painted black marble
Mustard.
yellow, and like doesn't pass the like white glove test. Yeah, right.
Gross.
Trump didn't stay at his own hotel though during all of that.
That's so weird.
He
It's
was
gross.
like,
His hotels are gross.
Yeah.
Stay there.
He's a very rich guy with fancy houses, as he's reminded us many times.
He didn't want to take all the meetings with world leaders at his own hotel
No.
because that wouldn't have.
He just wanted to rent them rooms so that he could later ask them for favors.
Yeah, exactly.
But so he mostly stayed in a hotel in Midtown and just like took visitors.
Yeah.
But he did give the opening speech at the General Assembly, or the speech at the General Assembly opening, that is traditionally reserved for the American president. And it was as exciting as advertised.
Yeah. The big takeaway from this speech, because it sort of started a war of words,
Yes.
which we're going to get into, but was that he called Kim Jong-un Rocket Man.
Yes.
I don't know that.
I am failing to see what's so insulting about
right?
that.
I know.
For
He
Kim
loves to
Jong-un.
like dub people, sort
Like,
of like
that's not
with their little
Crooked Hillary.
monikers, but like that Rocket, like that's not.
He's a
it's
man
not
with
insulting.
rockets. It kind of makes him
it's
sound
not
important.
Crooked Hillary. It's not little Marco
Little
or
Marco.
whatever. It's just like
Rocket Man. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
he sounds. It makes him sound kind of cooler than I would have previously imagined him as. But he also threatened to totally destroy North Korea. So
God, I
sure.
can't. I'm like,
it's maybe the first time that someone has threatened to totally destroy a nation. At the UN,
in front of the UN, where you're
which was basically established to stop nations
people
from doing that. Yeah.
Let me shine a light, though. This is the light
Yes.
that I'm going to shine on this right now. Unfortunately, we're meant to have a civil war. Like this is what's about to start to happen, right? And and it is because the
New and exciting
Constitution.
theory.
Yeah, it is because the Constitution is. It's outdated, and you can't live by one same set of rules that were made hundreds of years ago. And then, so the government is messed up. The government is definitely messed up, right? Trump isn't the answer, but it's definitely messed up.
Right.
The government itself, the system. So in order and societies is evolved, and there's half of our society that doesn't want to evolve, and then there's the other half that has evolved. So we can't live together peacefully. It's not going to happen. So that's a nice thought that people think that's going to happen, but it's not. So now that we know that, okay, Trump is actually right on target. Like he is meant to be this thing that he is.
Well,
there's no making sense of him. There's no, he's.
I've said something similar and it was a theory that I stole from my therapist, basically. But that, like, he is sort of like forcing us to deal with some of these things. It's painful, and like it will probably continue to be so.
Yeah, and
it will have lasting effects.
It will result in violence.
But it's sort of like once you sort of like push something aside for long enough, it sort of like manifests in front of you, and like
it has manifested,
it has
and it's going to manifest even more. This is just the beginning. So I'm at the point where now I just sit back and just wait for what it's supposed to be. Like right now, this is all just the foreplay. This is the foreplay before the rape. Okay, and we're about to all get raped pretty fucking hard.
It just doesn't feel enough like foreplay, though. Unfortunately,
it doesn't feel like foreplay, but you'll know when you're getting raped. You'll be like, "Oh, that was foreplay." So you'll know. Talk to me in a year.
Dark theories with Thomas Dale.
Yeah,
that's right.
Fear fantasies.
Fear fantasies, as we
Thomas
like to.
Dale.
Yeah, we like to discuss a good fear fantasy on this
It's
podcast.
I used to have premonitions when I was a kid, actually.
Really?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I remember I used to hang out with my friends, and I'd say we were like 16, 17. We'd be smoking blunts.
I was just about to say, were you high?
Yeah,
Right.
we were smoking weed.
Sounds young.
But I was talking about it when we were smoking weed. I had the premonitions when I wasn't high. I was a kid, right? And I just used to have these visions of like of burning, of fires, and like desert and smoke. And I saw the White House burnt down to the ground and ashes.
Yeah,
and
it's like a very. It's like something that Steve Bannon would have cooked up,
right?
Probably. Put in one of his documentaries.
Steven Spielberg.
Or it's like in a Bill O'Reilly novel somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.